realise, maybe in the class of 82 and in the class of 92, that you were in a really special group, though? Because it's all you ever knew, wasn't it? You came through with these guys, so it was just how it was for you.
Yeah, I think we realised at the time we had a good team, because you're winning every week, so that's a good indication. Did we ever think we was good enough to go and play for United for so many years? Probably not at the time, no, but you have to remember we had a manager who believed in youth as well.
Yeah.
He was watching us all the time. He knew we was good. He obviously seen something in us that he liked, and he had to clear the squad out. I think he got rid of Kanchelskis, Paul Ince, Mark Hughes, and he brought us all in and gave us that chance. And once you get the chance, you have to take it.
Play you, wasn't it? Because at the time it's having that bravery and seeing the talent that's there and keeping it all together. And it's in the end, I mean, it means an awful lot for everybody within the club, doesn't it? The academy coaches, everybody, to get your players. If they could get that again today, you'd want that for the next 10 years, wouldn't you, those players?
100%.
When you see Rashford come through, it's
a proud moment, isn't it, when you see a local lad come into your team, because it doesn't really happen now with so much money about everywhere. It's very rare that many players come into the team who's been a local lad.
I want to ask Scholes a question. He's probably the most humble person I've ever played with, and probably one of the best, probably the best genuine player I've ever played with. At what point did you realise you were special? I know you would never really say it, but what point did you must have known that I'm pretty good at, as good as the rest of the guys were?
No, never.
You never thought it?
I never thought of it. I always went from week to week, performance to performance, and you never really feel like you're a first team player. I just wanted to play, keep improving, but make sure I got picked the next week.
The thing about Scholes, I remember Scholes, Martin, you probably remember as well, whatever team he was on with the England team, and as good as everybody was, it was a brilliant generation, whoever team he was on, won. And he used to get back on the couch, sit at the table, not say a word, and everybody should get up, get on the couch and walk by and just look at him and go, just like utter disbelief.
The thing that struck me was his tackling. People say, Scholes, he can't tackle. Jesus. I remember...
what you're talking
I remember an England training session with Phil Neville. You put him in the stand, and I thought, oh, fair play. He's going to do it to his own players.
Oh, yeah, we did that.
Never held back. It was unbelievable.
We kicked lumps out of each other every day, but you were competing, you were competitive, you needed to get in the team. I'm not saying you go out to injure people, but me and Nicky every day.
Pushed each other on.
Yeah, we're coming off with blood on our legs, everything, but that was the drive we had and the competition we had. You don't see a lot of that anymore, do you? That desire and that will and that special talent you need to get into a team.
So when you were coming through, how much of that desire and that will was from Eric Harrison and from Sir Alex Ferguson, and how much was it from each other? Just driving each other on, being so competitive in training because you were just desperate to start in midfield.
Yeah, that was the environment Eric created. I think he could see in us that there was obviously talent, but he was on to us all the time. There was never a moment where you could relax and think, yeah, I've made it now. I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be playing every week. I'm a first team player. Never ever let you feel that way, and that it just made us so competitive. Like it was exactly the same as the manager.
When you say he taught us about what it is to be a Manchester United player, what was that? What did he tell you?
I think on the pitch, especially, that it was always, you must always have confidence. You must be brave. You must be able to take the ball anywhere on the football pitch. And that wasn't just for midfield players, for forwards, for defenders. You had to play forward. It was always about being positive. The mindset was, you go out to win games. Okay, look, you might concede goals, and they won't be happy with that. Don't get me wrong, but it was always thinking about scoring goals, winning games, and being positive. And it was something. It was just the way it was brought. We all loved being that kind of players. And
then Sir Alex took it on and took all of you on the class of '92. What was he like with young players? Your debut against Port Vale, when he just started giving you those first team opportunities?
Yeah, again, like I said, you knew where you stood. If you weren't pulling your way, he'd have you, and that was every single day.
Even when you were a teenager?
Even when, of course, yeah, when you were a teenager, yeah. It doesn't always work for everybody. It worked for us, obviously, but great manager. He just knew, and like I say, you have to have a manager who's willing to give you a chance, give young players a chance, and he couldn't wait to give us a chance, and hopefully we paid him back. Do
you remember stepping out of line as a young player and Sir Alex having a word?
Yeah, I think we all do at some point, don't we? We all get a...
Were you scared of him, like you were scared of Eric?
I'd still be scared of him now.
No, you wouldn't.
I swear to God, he's just the presence about it. I'm not scared of him, obviously. you know, as a young player, you do anything to keep on his right side. You see him coming down a corridor or something, you turn the other way because you just don't know what kind of mood he'll be in. But it was just the presence of the man.
Respect, isn't it?
I remember my debut for Manchester United, played City away. Somehow we're down 1-0 at half-time. Rio runs beyond me as a centre-back. He's like, oh, and get in the dressing room, quick. And I thought, why? I was 26 at the time. I was relatively established. And he said, Gaffer's going to go crazy. So I thought, get in the dressing room. And even Rio, as vocal as he is and as funny as he is, you know, he was scared. You're not scared, but he was like, he knew the manager. And we got in actually fair. But do you remember? And he said, you know, I don't know how you're behind, but he didn't actually go mad. But I just remember Rio's reaction, that he was genuinely frightened of the manager's reaction. And that's probably why the players invested so much for him, because they never, ever wanted to let him down.
I think usually the problem for them was what might have been application, because they had the talent, didn't they?
Yeah.
As you could see, they had all the gifted players throughout the team. It was getting the blend. He had a succession of teams, Sir Alex Ferguson, didn't he? He kept recreating, but that sort of common theme was the youngsters in the team. So it was about getting that extra from them, and he knew he had the measure of the team, and you know, if you didn't pull your weight, you didn't stay there, did you?
That was his biggest thing, desire and drive to actually do it. I think if he saw this team playing out today, I'm sure if he's watching at home or he's been here today, he'd be having kittens at what he's watching.
You think so?
Yeah.
You have to have that dynamo, don't you? In any dressing room, somebody has to beat. You know, you run to the tune of the manager, and if you don't do it, you don't produce, then you don't play. Yeah. You know, that's how you vote with your feet when you're with your players. You're in the side if you perform. If you don't, you're out.
And finally, what did the famous hairdryer consist of?
Swear words, a lot of swear words.
Really? Right in your face?
Flying boots, yeah, a bit of everything, yeah.
No wonder you were scared of him.